top stories. One woman is dead this morning while her sister is in an area hospital fighting for her life after they were shot during a domestic dispute. Right now, police are searching for a suspect. He's 28-year-old Roger Looper. Now, police say about midnight last night, Looper went to the home of his ex-girlfriend where he would shoot and kill her. Looper also shot his ex-girlfriend's sister several times. She was taken to an area hospital where her condition is unknown at this time. Authorities say Looper left the scene in his girlfriend's car. The car was later found sitting atop the new Mississippi River Bridge. If you have any information on Looper's whereabouts, call police.
And there's a murder suspect on the loose after a domestic dispute ended with one woman shot and another hurt. It happened last night on Calcote Road in Prairieville, and News 2's Shelby Costo has more.
Beautiful girl, you know, she was great, she was smart. She ran.
Mike Wade, he woke up this morning and heard a friend and colleague had been brutally murdered.
We were just shocked. Everybody's in shock. You know, it's a small town and you don't expect this kind of stuff around here.
Investigators believe 28-year-old Roger Looper opened fire late Sunday night and shot 23-year-old Elaina Wolf and her sister, 21-year-old Caitlin Wolf, at their home on Calcote Road. Valerie Chapman lives next door. She was home at the time of the shooting and called 911 when Elena's sister Caitlin ran to her home screaming for help.
She was shot. She got over here. She said, help me, help me. I've been shot twice. I just held her hand and just gave her some prayers. I didn't know what to do. I just prayed. I didn't know what to do.
Police say Elaina Wolf was dead when EMS arrived at the scene. Caitlin was taken to a local hospital with gunshot wounds to her side and foot. Mike Wade says he remembers his friend Elaina as a young, bright girl who didn't deserve to die.
She was a great person. She had a bubbly personality, always smiling, you know, it's really sweet. You know, it's a shame, you know, even if I don't know, crime of passion, whatever, there's no excuse for that, none.
Shelby Costo, WBRZ News 2, Louisiana.
Tonight, detectives are looking for 28-year-old Roger Looper. They say Looper left the scene in Wolf's car. It was later found on the new Mississippi River Bridge in Baton Rouge. Deputies from East Baton Rouge searched the Mississippi River thinking Looper may have jumped. They found nothing.
Up next, why this woman doesn't fear for her life anymore after a body was found.
A woman says she doesn't have to fear for her life after a twist in an old murder case.
She was shot a year ago, and the man who did it will not bother her again. News 2's Nightside reporter Claire Hatty is here to explain. Claire?
Well, the body of Roger Looper was found last week in the Mississippi River. Witnesses say he jumped from a bridge in Baton Rouge last year after he shot Caitlin Wolf and her sister. It closes a cold case, and it's tonight's top story.
These are the first two.
After being shot 6 times a year ago, Caitlin Wolf is still surprised she's alive.
I think the past year was coming to terms with the fact that I'm not dead.
She's even more surprised she no longer has to fear for her life.
I was really scared for an entire year. I hid all that stuff, and they kept me under wraps at the hospital, and it was constant worry on top of the post-traumatic stress disorder from it, thinking that he was gonna, you know, possibly come back or retaliate in some way, yeah.
Now, deputies say the man who shot Wolf in February 2006 has been found dead. Roger Looper's body was pulled from the Mississippi River last week. Elaina Wolf was Caitlin's sister and Looper's ex-fiancée. She was killed in the shooting. Investigators found Elaina's car on the Mississippi River Bridge after the shootings and believe Looper jumped off the bridge.
There was some concerns about that in some circles, that some people thought he may have staged it to look like he jumped. And, you know, of course, this brings that possibility to an end.
This is the way I would have wanted it to end up. I wouldn't have wanted to go through the whole trial or catching him or any of that stuff, because that just would have brought it back up later on.
Not to mention, Caitlin Wolf says she now knows Looper was brought to justice for murdering her sister, who is going to do great things.
Very driven, very intelligent, very strong woman. It's unreal that he even did it. It's still kind of unreal.
Caitlin Wolf says this tragedy has inspired her to help others. She wants to open a center for people like her who go through traumatic experiences. Claire Hatty, WBRZ News 2, Louisiana.